you won't get any because here's our next final.
200 meters individual medley, and the crowd will go wild again because there are Brits in this as well. And this, I think, in lots of ways, was the hardest race to predict in the program. I know we had one couple ago where either one or two could win, but in this one, it's 4, maybe 5 could go on and win this.
Yeah, that's true. Semyon Markovic is not one of them. He is rather 400-meter specialist, World Championship finalist. And Alexis Santos, 12th at last year's World Championships in Budapest. Hugo Gonzalez, a young Spanish, finished 4th at the World Junior Championships last year. Look out for him over the fly and the backstroke. There's Andreas Vesalios, reigning European champion.
He likes those flames. Well, based in Florida at the moment. Stan coaches him when he's back here. Mark Zaranek in 6. There's Jeremy Deplanche. I think the young lad who's about to come on the foredeck will get a very good reception. Incredibly popular man in the GB lineup, and he's back. Had a really terrible year. Shoulder injury has really set his 2018 right off track. But his shoulder's okay. They'll have to slightly remodel his action to make sure that the shoulder is protected. So it's not quite swimming the way he used to, because they need to give him longevity with that shoulder. But Philipp Heinz is the quickest, but look at that, there's a 157, 157, 157. All of them grouped in the same kind of category. There's not a really standout swimmer in this that you'd say that's where you put your money.
No, it's not the 200 breast. Philipp Heinz being the fastest in the semifinals. However, there have been already a few occasions where he did not win from lane 4. So he's not a specialist of the finals, you might say.
Well, Heinz is the #1 European this year, 4th in the world, to give him his due, 156.67. Deplanche is on 157 low. Max Litchfield had nothing to show in the top 25 until the semi-final swim last night, when he got into the 157s for the first time in 2018. Mark Zaranek has done a personal best in Glasgow, so they're all in very good form, which is why this is wide open. Medals could go pretty much anywhere. 200 meters individual medley for men. Butterfly first, and certainly with the case of Max Litchfield, it will be kind of sit and wait for a bit, because his butterfly is his weakest stroke. His backstroke is as good as I've ever seen it last night, and then the breaststroke, and then on the end the freestyle working very well. But early stages here, and Deplanche is having a good go.
It is Heinz. It is Heinz. He goes full out in the first 50. Deplanche turning first. Actually, Deplanche was just playing with the field in the semis, because he had by far the best split at the 150-meter mark.
Backstroke will now start to move things around.
Litchfield.
He is looking fantastic on the backstroke. You know what? That has improved in leaps and bounds, and he is leading. Now, if he's leading here, and he's got about 3/4 of a body length advantage, things looking good for Max Litchfield. Second place is Deplanche. Third is Vesalios, and 4th Heinz. The crowd will certainly lift Max Litchfield. If he wins this, it will be a miracle, considering the year he's had.
And right now he's still a stroke ahead of Jeremy Deplanche. Philipp Heinz way behind. A lot of work to do for the German, not being able to catch up with Max Litchfield over the breaststroke leg, where he was supposed to.
Right, last 50. Where are they situated right now? It is Deplanche from Litchfield, from Vesalios, and then Heinz on to the freestyle leg they go. And Deplanche is looking very strong in 3.
And also looking strong, Litchfield, and Heinz is back into action in the final 20 meters. Now Deplanche is not looking back, it's not easing off. He is going to take this title. Jeremy Deplanche, first ever Swiss European title in the
But
medley.
who's going to get second? I think Litchfield's going to take third. Yes, he is. Philip Heinz with second place. And third for Max Litchfield, which is a great achievement considering where he came from. But Jeremy Deblanche has done another 1:57, his best time of the year as well. 1:57.04, doing it exactly the right time. Philip Heinz went in as the top European. He'll come out of this as the second best European. But Max Litchfield gets a bronze medal, going inside 1:58 again. Gonzalez, Vazios and Zaranek back behind them. But terrific stuff from Deblanche, got it right. Race plan absolute to perfection. Heinz in second, but Max Litchfield is most definitely back, and that is a fantastic indication of what his 400 IM might look like.
And he will be very happy with the bronze medal, I think, at the victory ceremony.
I'm absolutely certain of that, because if you'd asked him a month ago, 2 months ago, I'm not even sure I'm going to be there, I think he would have said. I'm serious, I think he would have said, I'm not sure I can make it, because the shoulder's been there. He's had all credit to the Loughborough team for getting him here, because they've worked so hard on his kind of restructuring, if you like, of the stroke, and also making sure the shoulder is protected. It was almost a complete write-off year. He could have gone to the Commonwealth Games and aggravated it more and maybe put the World Championship out of range for next year, but decided, okay, I'll ease my way back in. But it shouldn't be about him. We should be talking about this guy, because he's been the nearly guy for so long, and he's not anymore.
Jeremy Deblanche, so he is European champion, and absolutely deservedly, I can say that, because
The 200 IM, but I tell you who will get the biggest cheer. He'll be the man who finished third. Now he comes to collect his bronze. Just missed out on an Olympic medal in the 400 IM in Rio. He was that close, and again, nobody expected him to do it. Nobody actually expected him to make a final. He made a final, finished fourth. Now, if we extrapolate what he did in the 200 today, look at the 400. Wow, good chance of a medal. Not sure about winning it, but good chance of a medal, yeah. It'll be some of the same guys he'll be up against too, only over a longer distance. So here comes the presentation party. And Chair of Sport Scotland will be enjoying, I'm sure, handing over a medal to an Englishman. And there he is, Max Litchfield. Well, we've talked about his travails this year. He'll be wanting to put that behind him now, not talk about it anymore. The shoulder's fine, it's working okay, it's getting him where he needs to get to. Not as quick maybe as he would have liked. I'm sure he thought there was probably a 1:57 in there maybe, but 1:58 will do it on the night, and we'll get him a bronze medal. And as I say, when the 400 IM comes around in a couple of days' time, well, we'll see what young Max has. And the team, I know, will be absolutely thrilled for him, and those who know Max, including his coach up in Sheffield, Russ Barber, will be saying, good job, all those long days, all those early starts. You know, he believed in him from the start. And, you know, you have to identify a swimmer and go, right, I can make you into an IM, or I think you're an IM. And that's what he did with him. And third place. Second place to the German who came in as the fastest, and indeed the fastest European in 2018. Well, couldn't hold on to that, because there was a man who just structured his race a little bit better on the day. And it is Swiss gold for Jeremy Deblanche, and there are the Swiss.
there you go.
Little pockets they've replaced the Dutch. The Dutch were there before. Right. The Dutch have moved out. The Swiss have come in to that position just across from us and very close to the medal ceremony. So yeah, we are going to hear an anthem that doesn't resonate around swimming pools around the world very often. The Swiss national anthem for our 200 IM winner, Jeremy Deblanche of Switzerland. Here it comes. Okay, my initial observation with Bianca, it sounded like 4 different anthems all put together. There's a little bit of something I recognise from somewhere else, and a bit of that, and a bit of that.
A little Italian,
Yeah,
German, French, and Greco-Roman.
Did you not think as we were going along, that sounds a bit like that, and then, oh, that sounds a bit like the anthem from there, but that sounded like somebody got a mixing bowl and went, oh, sticking around, there you go. There's the Swiss national. Oh, it's pleasant enough, but I dare say not one you hear very often. But Jeremy Deplanche will be delighted he's heard it. The Swiss fans on the far side will be absolutely thrilled they've heard it, and Max Litchfield, that smile will probably not come off his face for a while.
Actually, there's going to be a huge party in Switzerland, or at least amongst the swimmers, because Jeremy Deplanche will just turn 24, guess what, tomorrow.
So will he take Deplanche? Deplanche. Whereas, I wonder if Joe, Max's brother, who's at the Commonwealth Games, who's also 200 IMer, is in the building. I think he's probably made his way up if he's not doing something else. Joe will more likely be on the World Championship team next year if he carries at his rate of improvement. He'll be enjoying that. All 3 of them will be enjoying that. And just checking to make sure it's genuine. Yeah, it's yours. You can take it home.
You can take it to the bank in Switzerland.
I always find it hard to take sports events where they give you a trophy and then they just take it away from you afterwards. Go, yeah, you've seen it. It's like Wimbledon. We'll give you a replica, but the real thing, no, we'll take that back off you.
You had the 10 minutes of yours with that, and that's it.
That's it. It's like you just hired a locker for a while, you know, and oh, that's gone. That's it. No more. Yeah, every getting a vantage point. The Swiss here in force because of that. Jeremy Deplanche and Max almost got there for second. It was tight between those two, but yeah, that man on the left is definitely a swimmer. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Actually, he's training in France with Fabrice Pellerin in Nice, so a part of this gold medal goes to France. But this is just amazing, Jeremy Deplanche.
I'm speculating that's a family member.
Yeah, must be a relative.
Maybe Dad. Whoever it is.
Or just an enthusiastic Swiss fan.
He's got tears in his eyes. Yeah, well, let's be honest, these days don't